प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स एंड लाइबिलिटीज ऑफ ऑडिटर्स पार्ट 2 शेड्यूल्स टू द एक्ट। फर्स्ट शेड्यूल में 4 पार्ट है। उसमें पहले 3 शेड्यूल प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट के लिए और लास्ट वाला अदर मिसकंडक्ट के लिए। फर्स्ट पार्ट सी इन प्रैक्टिस के लिए उसके 12 क्लॉजेस है। सेकंड पार्ट सी इन सर्विस के लिए उसके 2 क्लॉजेस है। थर्ड और फोर्थ पार्ट ऑल सी एच के लिए तीन थर्ड में 3 क्लॉजेस है, फोर्थ में 2 क्लॉजेस है। सेकंड शेड्यूल में 3 पार्ट्स है। फर्स्ट पार्ट सी इन प्रैक्टिस के लिए, सेकंड और थर्ड 4 क्लॉज और 1 क्लॉज के लिए, मतलब 10-2-3-2, 10-4-1। फर्स्ट शेड्यूल पार्ट 1 प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट इन रिलेशन टू सी इन प्रैक्टिस। C in practice is deemed to guilty of professional misconduct if he, clause 1, allow any person to practice in his name as a chartered accountant unless such person is also a chartered accountant in practice and is in a partnership with employed by him. Additional points. This clause is intended to safeguard public against unqualified accountant practicing under the cover of qualified accountants. Clause 2 pays or allows or agrees to pay or allow directly or indirectly any share, commission or brokerage in the fees or profits of his professional business to any person other than a member of institute or partner or a retired partner or legal representative of deceased partner or a member of any other professional body or with other persons having such qualification as may be prescribed for the purpose of rendering such professional services from time to time in or outside India. Additional points. Prescribed members of other professional bodies are as under Regulations 53A. CS, CMA, Advocate, Architecture, Archery, MBA, Bachelor of Engineering, Technology, Bachelor of Law. Share of profit or sale of goodwill in case of death. Partnership firm. Legal representative of deceased partner can continue to receive share of firm only in deed contains such provisions. Partnership. No sharing of fees between legal representative and purchase of goodwill on death of sole proprietor. Goodwill payment may be made in installment if sale agreement provides. Goodwill can be sold or transferred to another CA if sale is completed within 1 year of death. Legal heir has to obtain permission of counsel within 1 year of death of proprietor. Name of concern would be kept in abeyance, that is not removed, only up to 1 year from death of proprietor. Clause 3 accepts or agrees to accept any part of profits or professional work of a person who is not a member of institute, provided that nothing herein contained shall be construed as prohibiting a member from entering into profit sharing or other similar arrangements, including receiving any share, commission or brokerage in fees with a member, such professional body or other persons having क्वालिफिकेशन एज रेफर्ड इन क्लॉज 2 ऑफ दिस पार्ट। मतलब कौन कौन है उसमें? क्लॉज 2 में थे CS, CMA, एडवोकेट, आर्किटेक्चर, एक्चुअरी, MBA, बैचलर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, बैचलर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी एंड बैचलर ऑफ लॉ। ये छोड़ के अगर कोई कमीशन लेता रहेगा तो उसको मिलेगा नहीं। चार्जिंग रेफरल फीस ऑब्टेन्ड बाय ए मेंबर in practice from another member in practice in relation to referring a client to him in not prohibited. Clause 4 enters into partnership in or outside India with any person other than chartered accountant body having such qualification as may be prescribed including a resident who, but for his residence abroad, would be entitled to be registered as a member under Section 415 or whose qualifications are recognized by central government or council for the purpose of permitting such partnerships. Addition- Additional points. प्रिस्क्राइब्ड में कौन कौन है? इसमें तो एक बैचलर्स उड़ गए, देख सारे सीधा इंजीनियर आ गया। सी एस सी एम में एडवोकेट, आर्किटेक्चर, एक्चुरी एक्चुरी और इंजीनियर। Clause 5 secures either through the services of a person who is not an employee of such chartered accountant any professional business, provided that nothing herein contained that shall be construed as prohibiting any agreement permitted in terms of item 2, 3 and 4 of this part. Items नहीं रे भाई, item, हाँ item 2 item. Clause 6 solicits clients or professional work either directly or indirectly by circular, advertisement, personal communication or interview, or by any other means. Additional points. Above clause does not prohibit a CA from applying, requesting or securing professional work from another CA in practice. A CA from responding to tenders or inquiries issued by organization and securing work. However, a member shall not respond to any tender issued by organization in areas of services exclusively reserved for CAs such as audit and attention services. Such restriction shall not apply where minimum fees of assignment is prescribed in tender document itself, or where the areas are open to another professional along with CAs. In respect of non-exclusive area, members are permitted to pay reasonable amount towards earnest money security deposits. Members number 2. Members should not adopt any indirect methods to gain publicity and thereby solicit clients or professional work. Such a restraint must be practiced so that members may maintain their independence of judgment and may be able to command the respect of their prospective clients. Some forms of soliciting works are advertising and note in press. However, following advertisements or announcements are permissible. Changes in partnership or dissolution, change in address and telephone numbers, advertisement in journal or newsletter of institute for sharing professional work, seeking partnership or employment, advertisement for recruiting staff in own office, advertisement in on behalf of client requiring staff or to acquire or dispose property, advertisement for sale of property by member acting as trustee, liquidator or receiver, advertisement for silver, golden, platinum or centenary celebrations not permitted to advertise events organized by CA firm. However, it may be published in newspaper or newsletter. Advertisement of coaching or teaching activities not permitted to advertise his classes or coaching institute. He may put signboard outside a coaching premises mentioning name of institute, contact details and subject taught. Educational videos. However, educational videos without reference of CA firm, contact details or website address may be uploaded on internet by members giving public interviews. Not permitted to give interviews which results in publicity, mentoring of professional attainments in books, articles or presentations. Not permissible to mention professional attainments in book or article published or presentation made by him. However, he can maintain designation CA and firm name. Issue of greeting cards or invitations. Not permissible to issue greeting cards or personal invitation indicating professional designation, status and qualifications, etc. However, he can mention designation CA and firm name in greeting cards and invitations for marriage, religious ceremonies, and office inaugurations, provided that such cards or invitations are sent to clients, relatives, and friends of the concerned members only. Application for employment for employee for allotment of audit and other professional work. Where existence of such panel is within knowledge of member, he can request concerned organization to place his name on panel. However, member is not permissible to make roving inquiries regarding such panel. Sponsoring activities. Not permitted to sponsor an event. However, he may sponsor an event conducted by program organizing unit of ICI. In sponsoring activities relating to CSR, members may mention their individual name with prefix CA. However, mention of firm name or CA logo is not permitted. Acceptance of original professional work by member emanating from the client introduced to him by another member. If any professional work of such client comes to him directly, he has duty to ask the client that he should came through the other member dealing with his original work. Scope of present Scope of representation on an auditor is permitted entitled to make under section 140 subsection 4 of the Companies Act later should set out a defined manner how he has been acting independently throughout his term and may indicate his willingness to continue as auditor if reappointed by shareholders. Number 5. Appearance of CA on electronic media, including internet. Members may appear on television, films, and internet and agree to broadcast in radio or give lectures at forums and may give their names and describe themselves as CA. Special qualification or specialized knowledge directly relevant program may also be given. Firm name may also be mentioned. What he may what he may say or write must not be promotional. Website guidelines. Council has approved details guidelines for website of CA firm in practice. CA or CA firm in free to create their own websites. Actual format of website is not prescribed nor any standard format is given. There is no restriction on colors used in website. Website should be run on a pull model, not a push model. Information contained in website should not be circulated on their own or email except on specific pull request. CA is permitted to mention the websites on professional stationery, letterheads, visiting cards, and email, but soliciting people to visit website is not permitted. Following information can be displayed on websites. Number 1. Member or firm name, year of establishment allowed on website but not on letterheads, etc. Address, telephone number, and email ID. Nature of service render on specific pull request. Details of partners, however, area of experience of partner to be displayed only on specific pull request. Details of employees, job vacancies, number of article assistants on specific pull request. Nature of assignments handled on specific pull request. Names of clients and fee charged cannot be given, however permissible if required by regulator. No photograph of any sort is permitted, only displayed as passport size photo is permitted. Members may include articles, bulletin boards, professional updations, etc. on websites. Educational videos on professional topics are permissible. Chat rooms can be provided which permit chatting amongst members of ICI and between firms and its clients. Firm can provide link of its page on social networking sites. Members of firms can provide online advice to their clients who specifically request for advice. Website should be befitting the CA profession. Website may provide link to website of ICI, its regional council and branches, and also the website of government or government departments, regulatory authorities, other professional bodies. Website address is to be filed by the member on annual basis in annual form to institute. Online third party platform. CA or CA firms can provide consultation and advice through online third party platforms. However, firm name and contact address should not be provided. Publications of name or firm name by chartered accountants in telephone or other directories published by telephone authorities or private bodies. CA or CA firm may have entries made in telephone directory either by making a special request or by means of additional payment. Entries should appear in CA category. Order of entries should be alphabetically. COCA firm should belong to town in which directory is published. Entries should be open to all CA or CA firms of that town. Members can also include their names in trade or social directories. Application based service provider are aggregators. Not permissible for members to list themselves with online application based service provider aggregators. Examples of misconduct under this clause: claim superiority over any other member or firm. If company issues a prospectus or announcement that gives description about expertise and knowledge of such advertisement published in a newspaper containing photograph of CA wherein he was congratulated on occasion of opening ceremony of his office. CA wrote several letters to government department mentioning professional attainments. Clause 7 advertises his professional attainment or services or uses any designation or expressions other than the chartered accountants on professional documents, visiting cards, letter heads, or signboards, unless it be a degree of university established by law in India or recognized by the central government a lit- or a title indicating membership of the Institute of Chartered Accountants or of any other institution that has been recognized by central government or may be recognized by the council. Additional points: member may advertise through a write-up setting out services provided by his firm and particulars of his firm subject to such guidelines as may be issued by council. No no exaggerated claims for the service offered qualifications or experience should not contain testimonials or endorsements should not contain any information about achievements awards except award given by government regulatory bodies should not be of font size exceeding 14. This clause prohibits advertising of professional attainments or service of members. It also restrains a member from using any designation or expression other than CA. Other designations. A CA improper for CA to use designations such as cost accountant, company secretary, cost consultant, management consultant, income tax consultant, advocate, corporate lawyer, cybersecurity expert, member of parliament, or municipal councillor. However, members are permitted to use letters indicating membership of other professional bodies, institutions, CMA, CAS, SCCA, CPA, ICAEW, etc. A, in client companies offer documents and advertisements regarding capital issue, name, and address of CA acting as advisor or consultant. The issues could be indicated under caption advisor or consultants to the issue. Further, such members should not use the designation of either merchant banker or advisor or consultant to issue in their own letters, visiting cards, professional documents, etc. Member can mention insolvency professional or regulated valuer, date of setting up practice or establishment or of firm on letterheads, and other professional documents should not be mentioned. Member is allowed to permit quick response code on visiting cards provided that code does not contain information that is not permissible to the printed on visiting cards. Member is allowed to print names of all firms on personal letterheads in which he is a partner. Clause 8 accepts a position as auditor previously held by another chartered accountant or a certified auditor who has been issued certificate under the restricted certificate rules 1932 without first communicating with him in writing. Additional points. Object of incoming auditor in communication with retiring auditor is to ascertain from him whether there are any circumstances which warrant him not to accept the appointment. Professional response Professional reasons for not accepting an audit would be non-compliance of provisions of section 139 and 140 of Companies Act 2013, non-payment of undisputed audit fees by auditees other than in case of sick units, issuance of qualified report. In first two cases, auditor who accepts the audit would be guilty of professional misconduct. In case of in last case, he may accept the audit if he is satisfied that attitude of retiring auditor was not proper and justified. If he feels that retiring auditor and had qualified the report for good and valid reasons, he should not accept the audit. Mere posting of letter under certificate of posting is not sufficient to establish communication with retiring auditor unless there is evidence that letter has reached and the person communicated with following shall be provide such evidence. Communication by letter sent through a registered acknowledgement due or by hand against a written acknowledgement or acknowledgement from retiring auditor wide email address registered with ICI or his official email address or unique identification number UDIN. If retiring auditor fails to respond due to feeling of hurt because of change, the auditor appointed can act after waiting for a reasonable time. Communication is mandatory required for all types of audit or report of previous auditor is a CA. This clause is applicable in situation of replacing of one auditor by another auditor. Internal auditor and statutory audition are parallel positions and not replacement position. In this situation, there is no need to communication by one to another. Premises from premises found locked. Communication received back With the office found locked, return shall be deemed as delivered to retiring auditor. In case of audit of government companies or bank or their branches, if there is no time to wait for reply from outgoing auditor, incoming auditor may give a conditional acceptance of appointment and commence the work. Clause 9 accepts an appointment as auditor of company without first ascertaining from it whether the requirements of section 139 and 140 of the Companies Act 2013 in respect of such appointment have been duly complied with. It is not sufficient for incoming auditor to accept certificate from management of company that provisions of above sections have been complied with. Hence, it is necessary for incoming auditor to verify relevant records of company. Examples of misconduct under this clause: accepts an appointment as auditor of company in which his relatives are director or key managerial personnel or has substantial interest. Clause 10 charges or offers to charge, accepts or offers to accept in respect of any professional employment fees which are based on a percentage of profits or which are contingent upon the findings or results of such employment, except as permitted under any regulations made under this act. Additional point: fees should not be regarded as being contingent if fixed by court or other public authority. Exceptions regulation 192. In case of receiver or liquidator, fees may be based on percentage of realization of disbursement of assets. Auditor of cooperative society, fees may be based on percentage of paid up capital or working capital or income. Valuer, percentage of value of property value. Fundraising services, percentage of fund raised. Debt recovery services, percentage of debt recovered. Cost optimization services, percentage of benefit derived. Insolvency professional, certain management consultancy services, परसेंटेज बेसिस, मतलब सब की सब परसेंटेज है.
काल कोच रिवाइज करा काय?
अरे clause 11 engages in any business or occupation other than profession of chartered accountant unless permitted by the council so to engage. Additional points: provided that nothing contained herein shall disentitle a CA firm being a director of company not being managing director or full-time director unless he or any of his partner is interested in such company as an auditor. CA in practice is generally permitted to engage in following occupations for which no specific permission from council is necessary. General resolutions: employment under CA in practice or CA firms, private tutorship, authorship of books and articles, holding of life insurance agency license for getting renewal commissions, attending classes and appearing for any examination, holding any public elective offices such as MP, MLA and MLC, honorary office, leadership of charitable, educational or other non-commercial organizations, acting as notary public, justice of the peace, special executive magistrate, part-time tutorship under coaching organization of ICI, evaluation of papers, acting as paper setter, head examiner or moderate or any exam, editorship of professional journals, acting as surveyor and loss assessor under Insurance Act, acting as recovery consultant in banking sector, owning agricultural land and carrying out agricultural activity, director, simpliciter, ordinary or simple director who is not managing or whole-time director, promoter or promoter director or signatory to the memorandum and articles of associations. CA in practice may engage in following business or occupations after obtaining specific and prior approval of council specific resolutions. Full-time or part-time employment in business concerns or non-business concerns. Managing or whole-time director of a body corporate. Interest in family business concern. Interest in educational institution. Part-time or full-time lectureship for courses other than relating to ICI examination. Part-time or full-time tutorship under educational institution other than ICI organization. Editorship of journal other than professional journals. Any other business or occupation, example trading in commodity derivatives. For such executive committee considers that permission may be granted. Teaching hours not exceed 25 hours a week in any cases mentioned above. Audit of subsidiary company can't be director of its company hold company as it will affect independence of auditor. Clause 12 allows a person not being a member of institute in practice or a member not being his partner to sign on his behalf or on behalf of his firm any balance sheet, profit and loss account, report or financial statements. Additional points. Power to sign routine documents as may be delegated following instances. Non-applicability. Issue of audit queries during audit. Asking for information or issue of questionnaire. Later forward draft observations of financial statements. Initiating and stamping of vouchers and schedules prepared for audit. Acknowledging and carrying on routine correspondence with clients. Issue of memorandum of cash and other physical verification or recording results thereof books in the books of clients. Issuing acknowledgement for records produced. Raising of bills, issuing acknowledgement for money receipts, attending or to routine matters in tax practice subject to Section 288 of Income Tax Act. Any other matters incidental to office administration and routine work. Sign or issuance of stock certificate, production certificate, net worth certificate, or any other certificate is not a routine work and cannot be delegated.